What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. All right, so I got something today for you. Boom, coming from Kratos Knives, my guys down in Florida. We have a fixed blade. This is the first time I brought you, or I'm bringing you, a fixed blade from Kratos Knives. Take it out of this package, get to that leather sheath. I have to say, I like the coloration on this leather sheath. I like that dark to light look, that faded leather. I love leather, man. I love the smell of leather. So let's get into this thing. Like I said, this is the first fixed blade knife I have had the opportunity to check out from these guys. And this, as you can tell, is a typical like hunting style knife. One thing you are going to notice is every time I've ever talked about harpoons, it's always been negative. Not because of the way the knife performed, so to say, or the way it was built, just because I don't like the look. But it's never about the looks when the working is the working. And I will say this. This right here is probably the last one I went over. This is Jed Hornbeak's kukri. I don't like the look of this at all, but this thing was a freaking banger. I mean, I would use this up, down, all around, frontwards, sidewards, and to the back. This knife is really freaking good. I don't like to look at it though. So it's not about do I like the look, because I just happen to hate harpoons. It's do I like the workability? Do I like the can I use it factor? And that's what we're going to get into this knife about. I mean, it's a hand fitter. Let's see the size of this thing. We do have 440 steel. It's got a 57 Rockwell. It is full tang. The blade itself is 7 1/4. It's got a 6-inch grip. 20-degree bevels. Long-lasting corrosion resistance. It is. That's 440C. It's really good stuff. Great for outdoors, general purpose, survival, camp, bushcraft, durability, appeal, comfort, grip, and they aren't lying about that. Now, as a harpoon knife in this style especially, you're going to be thinking camp. This is hunting. This is, I can skin a deer or a bear or a rhinoceros with it. That's a good thing about having 7 inches is you can really skin a lot. Now, what I do and why I don't like harpoons are made for a single purpose, to harpoon. That's literally what they're for. Generally, the ones I don't like the most, though, are the ones where the hook is way out here instead of, this one's midway point. But when they're right here, it's made for this. It's made to go into a fish and then pull back and trap the fish so the fish can't get away. That's what a harpoon is designed for. It shouldn't be on a knife that you want to stick into something and get back. But people love harpoon styles, so makers are going to keep making them no matter what I think is pretty, and everybody has a different opinion. So some people are going to see that and go, oh yeah, the harpoon's the best looking knife on the planet. And I have to say, for a harpoon, as far as a harpoon goes, it's not a bad looking knife. You'll notice that this angle goes this way, unlike traditional harpoons that go this way. So it won't get stuck in anything. That's one good thing about it. I think they did it for aesthetic reasons for harpoon and not for harpoon reasons, because otherwise it would be different. If it's going to be a harpoon, wherever you grab a knife, wherever your finger goes here, that harpoon should be right there for control. That way it's not even a harpoon, it's more of just a lip for a finger grab. To have it way out here is definitely a stretch, but again, some people love them. I'm just not a harpoon guy. Everybody knows it. And if I was to say, oh yeah, because Kratos Knives, I love these guys, so I love their harpoon, then everybody would know I'm just blowing smoke up your butt, and I'm lying. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like harpoons. Have I found one that doesn't work good yet? No, everything I've used so far has worked. It's sharp, it's pointy, it's going to go. Let's see how sharp it is. Speaking of sharp. Ooh. All right, so it is definitely and without a doubt 150% razor. I mean, razor freaking sharp. I mean, that is undeniable, unquestionable, razor freaking sharp. So being True Tang, they talk about it's made to be able to take blunt force, and they made it to be able to be used as a chopper. So we're definitely going to test that. With the recurve, it should, in theory, have the ability to get down in a chop. As far as a fighting knife, I think because this curves so much, it's harder to get around in your hand, but not impossible. Obviously, as you can see, I'm doing it. So it's not impossible to get around. Would I call it an ideal for a fighting knife? No. Would I want this in my ribs? Absolutely not. What this is going to be a large knife EDC. It's going to be one hell of a camp blade. If it holds up, we'll check. Or one hell of a hunting blade. And that sometimes is all you need. Especially these guys are down in Florida. So if they're going into water somewhere, they might want to keep a knife around where you can go through a gator's head. And with that tip on there, that swedge tip, I have no doubt in my mind that you can pierce through the muzzle of a gator if it's coming at you, or underneath where it's a little softer. You could really get through with this, and that could be the meaning or the separation of life and death, which is really good. So you do have a couple different elements here. While it's full tang, and then you have a pommel, an attached pommel. You have an attached guard, quillin. You do have spacers with liners in the spacers. You do have a wood grip, and it is pinned. So it's not bad looking. You got some pencil fullers, and enough ricasso to, if you needed to do some carving, you're going to be able to use your finger in that ricasso and get it going. But we want to see if this thing's going to work. So let's take it outside and work it. All right, we got a little bit of, well, no real sunshine, but we got some light shine, so you can really get a good look at this thing. So for people who like the harpoon style, this might be something you dig. And I believe these are only 80 bucks. I think it's 79 bucks, something like that. Somewhere in there, I don't know. But one thing you're gonna find with Kratos knives, well, I guess it does get around pretty good. That's way better than I thought. Okay, so when I was sitting down, it changes your angle when you're sitting. So trying to get the knife around because of the guard, it didn't feel right. But because it's got a 6-inch handle, I can go just below the guard. And I mean, come on, man. All right, so D-Bad was wrong. This thing gets around. This thing gets around. So the balance is actually really nice. At first I was kind of discrediting it as like fighting knife balance, but that's actually really, really nice. All right, so you got that. I guess you can use it as a self-defense knife. I mean, obviously you can, but let's try some. Wow, it's already just doing this. It's like wanting to stay. That's insane. That's really, really nice in the tip. We'll do some 4-foot drops and we'll see how far the gravity drop helps. Boop. Look at that. Doing, doing, doing. Oh yeah, that was in there. All right, let's do another one. Boop. All right, so it definitely dives in. Let's do a couple hard downwards. See about that shock. Bam. There's going to be shock and a bite test. And the bite is really good. Shock is good because we want to see if any of this stuff's going to loosen from hard shock. Bam. You hear that? How loud, how thuddy that is? Ugh. All right. So that's good. I mean, obviously, I'm hitting it and it's doing this, and there's no wiggling, wobbling, or anything that's not supposed to be happening. Let's try a push cut on the 1/2-inch nylon rope without sawing. Wow. Okay, so that was sharp. That I barely had to press. That was super, super sharp. Get my jeans all dirty for you guys. All right, so let's see this. So nice. So nice on the hose. I had a couple knives that were cutting, but not easily, right? And this one I can say was easily cutting. Let's see here. Look at that, just beautiful. Let's go this way. Cut that cut off. I'm gonna put both of them together kind of like taco, and see if we can't get through that way. Let's see how we did. And I did. I got the part that I actually cut. I didn't cut the bottom part, but it cut through exactly as it was supposed to. And it just saw off that part, so we went through every piece, no problem. Let's get a little banging in. Oh, you know what? We got some pieces right here. I don't even have to go anywhere. Where are we going? Where are we going? Let's check out a nice big piece here. There we go. I got so much in the burn pile. All right. Well, okay, it's a bigger piece than I thought. All right. So it says on the ad, ooh, that it's good for chopping. Let us see. So we want to hit some nice hard impacts on this knife and see if anything at all will loosen. And oh, I thought it did, but it was me. I thought I felt something off, but it was me. I'm very off. Everything is still on. You can see. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to grab the pommel and swing from there, because if anything would break off, it would be that, right? From impact, if you're holding it, I'm putting a lot of pressure on this rear piece. I don't have any problems so far. And it's not like, oh, you're trying to break the knife. No, I'm trying to make sure it's strong enough. I'm trying to make sure that if it says it can chop, we want to make sure it can do that from the best direction and the best way possible. And the best way to chop is obviously with the most leverage. So I'm going low. So I'm not trying to damage the knife, just trying to test it. Ooh. Wow. Ooh. All right. That is not so bad. That is not so bad. No blistering, no weird hot spots, zero loosening in the guard, and you can see it's taken some depth right there. It's going all the way through the bevel. That's just nice. That is nice. Let's see. Let's see. All right, Kratos Knives. All right, Kratos. So it's not just the, oh my gosh. It's not just the autos that are fantastic and not just the button lock that's fantastic. Look at that. All right. So this thing is pushing. This is a very uneven log. So hitting all these bumps and whatnot and trying to get it into one level, it's working out really nice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those curls now. Once you start getting away all the uneven spots, look at that. Making it smooth. Golly, that is nice. That is super, super nice. And I want to show you what I'm talking about here. Get all those feathers. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's take a swat at some of these vines over here. You can see in this tree, looks like a chandelier. I got them all cascading down, and they just choke out the trees. And this is all poison stuff. I don't even know what poison stuff it is. I just know I was told, hey, don't touch that, buddy. It's all poison, by the guy who came over. And I said, I really don't care. Look at that. All right. All right. Uh-oh, that one just broke. All right. All right. So, I mean, if anybody has to work with vines in your yard, you know what kind of a pain in the absolute ass they are. Vines suck. They just don't stop growing. They're awful. Let's try some spine wax on some of this dried out stuff over here. Cool. Bumping my head on stuff. All right, let's see. That's a little impact right there. There is nothing loose, nothing moving away from itself. I like good knives, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like good knives. If I think a harpoon is ugly and it works, then I'm gonna like the harpoon. It's just the way it works. Would if it was up to me, would it not be a harpoon? Yeah, but guess what? They also have non-harpoons. They've got all kinds of stuff. You know what we're doing. All right, so this is going to be the true test because I have no idea if I'm in a good spot for this yet. No. All right, so that was a bad spot. It hit really hard. Nothing loosened, and I hit down here. That is really good. I got to figure out where my yardage is. I don't know if I'm too far back. Or if I'm just right. I just had to get that first one. Come on, man. Come on. Wow, that went in there super freaking deep too. That was really nice. I mean, once you get a spot, as long as you do the same throw, it's going to have the same result in theory. So that was actually pretty nice. It feels good in the hand. Gotta give him that. It feels good. It feels good. Let's see. I told you, get the skin of buffalo and all that jazz. Let's make sure I'm truthing it to you. Yeah, I think I'm truthing it to you. I think I'm truthing it. That is super clean. Super clean. These guys do the work. These guys do the work so you don't have to. That's fantastic. Let's see if we can't punch down on something here. Let's see. Grab one of these. Grab one of these nice dried out logs full of knots. This is not just full of knots, but we're going to start on the knotty end. That is very, very knotty. Not naughty. You're a bad girl. I'm going to spank you. Here we go. Oh, yeah. That is finer than Mel's Diner. Let's go again. Oh, you hear that? I love that sound, that clunky sound. Straight through the knots. I mean, no issue at all. Let's do some pulls. Go with the side grip. I got those nice pencil fullers. That's going to help out with that. Oh, that is so nice. That's good edge geometry. That's what that is. You're getting them fine curls like that. That is edge geometry. That is really, really nice. That is really nice. Come on, man. So, I mean, I'll tell you what, what do you think you're going to need in your camp hunting knife? You're going to need something that chops. You're going to need something that cuts. You're going to need something that can sharpen, something that can whittle, something that can skin. You know what I mean? Something if you need to, something to throw. And you're going to be hard pressed to find a failure or any of those tasks not performing something like this. This knife actually works exactly as advertised. And I say it actually does. And I know that sounds like it's expected not to. That's not the case. It's just my poor English. So it really, really does do the job. It's muggy out here. I am sweating. But that's a performer. That's a performer. Every single thing you need your knife to do, it's going to do. It's going to do. And with that sticking out of the sheath, especially with that good looking sheath, if you love to EDC a hunting knife, and a lot of guys do, it's a good looking knife. I mean, coming out of that sheath. And again, this for me is personal. It's just personal. I am not a harpoon fan. It's just a personal preference. And I don't mind if they're back here, like I said. And I don't mind if, let's say, it's a cutout and then comes up and it's made for a palm push. And I guess you could really use this one being a mid, you can use this as a palm push, and you have all this real estate here, and I can see that, and that would make sense with it going this way rather than that way. It makes it less harpoony, and now you'd get a nice comfortable grip right before the swedge. I can see it. I just have a hard time looking at harpoons. That's just me. But I have a great time looking at working knives, and this thing is exactly that. It is a freaking workhorse. Gotta like that. Gotta like that. I wonder after all that. Yeah, it's still razor shave sharp. It is. It's all sweaty. It's all sweaty hair. Razor sharp. I mean, 440C with a good heat treat is going to be sharp no matter what. But that right there, guys, is a very, very well worked knife. I am pretty impressed. I am pretty darn impressed. They have some of the best OTFs. I'll say they have the best OTFs for the money, without a doubt. And I have yet to find a single issue or something that they can't do that my Microtechs can. And then you come out with this, and you see a lot of guys selling a knife just like this for 200 bucks. And then these guys come out and they sell one for sub 100. I don't know. Kratos Knives. I'll put the link down below. Check them out. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.